Hey, beautiful friends. I hope you're so well wherever you are in this now moment, and that you're breathing, that you're breathing, that you're breathing, that you're breathing. So, I wanted to share something that is a little bit weird, but whatever. So, I recently had a human lie and steal. Um, and like, here's the thing. I understand. I understand if someone doesn't have confidence and courage to speak their truth, which maybe that truth is, I don't have the money. Or maybe the truth is, I don't want to spend that money there. Or maybe the truth is, I don't like hanging out with you. And when we have these truths that we feel may be uncomfortable for someone else, then we become really uncomfortable and then we just don't tell the truth. And I've had that experience for most of my life. Whoops. I grew up in a household where truth was withheld. And I'm really grateful for that because it honed my ability to sense truth and to sense lies in the form of absolute lie or a lie in the realm of withholding the truth intentionally so that the absence of words or truth creates a perceived reality that isn't actual or real. So I'm grateful that I have that skill now. And it also, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of decreases my compassion for people who lie. It really does. Like, I'm aware that I could probably have more compassion for someone who doesn't have the guts to speak their truth. I understand why it is scary to not share what we actually feel if it may create a space of someone being butthurt. Growing up, I had situations where it's like no one told me that my grandmother was actually that sick until she died. And then it was like, okay, so she died. No one was really telling me that my brothers were moving away until the day they left. It was like, so it was stuff like that. Just, we didn't want to tell you. We didn't want to worry you. We didn't want you to feel, basically. And the intention behind that was very kind, and I get it. And that pattern of humaning is not in alignment with this like higher frequency consciousness that we're moving into, from what I'm picking up on in the realm of like energy and the quantum. Because to withhold the truth out of fear of hurting someone, first of all, that's a fear resonance that literally isn't in alignment with the higher frequencies, the higher realms of consciousness, the realms of like unconditional love and the field of oneness. To withhold truth because we think the other person may feel something. Here's the thing. We're going to say and do things that create space for others to feel in. They may like it, they may not like it. And for us to completely edit who we are because someone may have a feeling about it is not in service to like life on earth. That would be like if the gardenia were like, some people think my smell is a little bit much, so I'm just not gonna do it. No, man, if you don't like the smell of the gardenia, you just don't go near it. Right? Like that, that. But we've grown into a society where we are trying to placate and prevent emotions from being experienced. And if we are not experiencing emotions, we are not processing them. If we're not processing emotions, then we're living in this like stagnation this stagnated energy pool of consciousness. So then when we want to evolve and we want to grow and expand, it's actually a little bit more challenging, because then we won't look at ourselves and tell ourselves the truth. Because if I'm mitigating my truth with people that I'm speaking with, because I don't want them to feel something that I think is bad or wrong or uncomfortable, then that's a way that I treat me, right? Because however I treat anything outside of me is a direct 110% reflection of how I treat myself. So that means that if I don't tell you the truth because you might get upset with me, then that means that I'm not telling me the truth, that I'm not actually being honest with myself. I'm not telling myself, hey, you're not showing up fully, Jane, or hey, Jane, you know you don't want to be here. Why are you here? Or like, I'm ignoring those voices and that truth in my heart, because I don't trust maybe that I would be able to process it. It's uncomfortable. I just don't want to. But that's a part of our human development. It's to move through these experiences in a way that creates expansion or evolution, ascension, descension of our higher selves into our human. And when we lie to ourselves, when we can't look inward and just ask ourselves and like listen to ourselves for the answer and like be for real with ourselves, if we can't do that, the way we show up in the world is so half-ass. It is so half-ass. Not only is it half-ass, but people like me can feel it, because I feel when other people aren't showing up fully, and they'll project it onto me or someone else or whatever. But I also see and feel where it's coming from, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, damn, man, you're showing up half-ass. You can't talk. You can't communicate. You can't be honest with yourself. You don't have the guts to look inward. You don't have the courage, the desire. You're not into it, and that there's nothing wrong with that. And it literally is half-ass. It's like a half-ass life experience. And I understand that, like, we want to be kind, like duh. I think that that's where kind communication and nonviolent communication really comes in handy. It's like skill sets and how we talk to people. And also remembering that, like, sharing from a place of hurt or discomfort is going to maybe come out a little bit weird. So, like, kind of giving ourselves some grace if we share our truth and it may be upsetting. Like, if I know that my entire social circle is anti-guns, and I go into the group and I'm like, yeah, like, I think that people should be allowed to have guns. Like, I don't want one, but, like, I think that people should. There are chances that I might lose that circle of friends. They might reject me. They might argue with me. They may yell at me. They might ridicule me. So what happens is we don't feel safe. In this example, I wouldn't feel safe to even communicate my perspective, and I'm just going to sit back and, like, let everybody talk, and then I'm going to maybe feel like I need to double check what I'm doing, and maybe I should alter my beliefs to fit in, because I don't want to be ostracized, because we've been told about that story about that Jesus dude that, like, literally spoke up against the crowd, and look what happened to him. And we see it with all types of great leaders, all types. And now they're just not doing it so, like, gang style in the middle of, like, the town square. Now it's just like, oops, you accidentally got shot and killed while you were creating a water power car. Oh, oh, you were really starting to share about free energy. Oh, look, you're dead. Whatever. So, like, I understand why people have such a conditioned fear around speaking up. It's in our society, you can get punished or killed. That's like the deep program. In our society, we don't want to make someone uncomfortable, because then if they're in the victim consciousness frequency, then all of a sudden we're a bully. So like, I have so much deep understanding for it. And fuck that. Like, can we really just like get on this bandwagon of communication and being able to look inward, have, first of all, a conversation with ourselves, like a for real one, like, hey, do I actually like this relationship? Does this relationship bring me joy? Does this relationship inspire my life and my light? Does this relationship serve me and or the greater good of, I don't know, life on earth? You know, asking ourselves these questions and being okay if the answers hurt, that they may hurt, that this relationship in whatever capacity may not be great. It may be one-sided, it may be lopsided, it may be completely abusive and abrasive. It may just not be fulfilling, it may just be too small. And this relationship could be with anything. It could be with a lover, a parent, a family member, a neighbor, yourself, your relationship with food, alcohol, television, social media, whatever it is. But we oftentimes don't even have the courage to actually ask, is this relationship serving me? And how is it? And how is it not? Is it in my highest good? And can I shift it? Or can I communicate through it? Like, can I go to that boss and say, hey, you know, this pay scale just isn't really aligning for me anymore. Can we have a conversation around it? Because actually my value is a lot more than what I'm being compensated for. Being able to, one, do that, two, be okay if they say, no, you're fired. You know, because we risk a lot when we speak our truth. We risk losing it all. But when we lose it all, that literally is just all the doors closing and then all the other doors open. Like, we never lose it all. We may lose all of what we have in this now moment, but it doesn't mean that we'll do without forever. So to me, why not be the courageous human that is willing to speak the truth fully? Hey, I really want this. And if someone says no, okay, well, maybe we can find a way to compromise. You know, like, if that doesn't feel good to you, then what would feel good to you? You know, and to me, if we can start really communicating in kindness, in compassion, with so much grace and love, if we're communicating like that authentically, super vulnerably, without any fear of somebody else's feelings or reactions, our own either, like my own reaction, I don't want to fear it, then we will be actually, like, for real though, like creating the communication pathways for world peace. You know, right now it's, you know, I don't want to talk about my feelings or how can my feelings and your feelings, how can we work together in harmony? We live in a society where it's been propagated that you say how right you are, and because you're right, the other person's wrong, and now there must be war, or there must be control, or, you know, because I'm right and you're wrong, I need to be honored and you need to be punished. You know, I'm better than you. Well, like, what if the conversation were more like, hey, I was taught that I'm better than you, and I know that I'm not because we're both humans doing the best we can, but I know that there's this huge discrepancy in the way I was treated growing up and the way you were treated growing up. Can we work together so we can figure out how we can, like, use our strengths together and grow in a new way? Like, you know, I'm having conversations in the realm of, like, a relationship with a lover or a partner. You know, hey, I'm really feeling unfulfilled, and I'm not really sure if it's the relationship or if it's because I haven't really been taking time for myself. Can we navigate this together? You know, as opposed to I'm feeling unfulfilled and I'm just going to hold it in because I don't want to tell them, because what if they feel lacking, or what if it's me, right? What if it causes them to cheat? What if I cheat? And so I'm just going to be miserable and feel unfulfilled, and I'll be stuck in the mindset of I'm feeling unfulfilled. And so then I'm not even going to take the time to go inward to fill, because I'm so focused on the unfulfillment. Y'all, we don't have to, but it would be really super helpful for, like, I don't know, life in general, like with a new earth frequency, like for real, like we really like get to learn how to communicate with each other and to not withhold truth. Because if truth is withheld, and here's the thing, truth can be withheld from two different, directions, right? It can be held because, like, I bought you a surprise gift and I'm like, I'm hiding it, I'm so excited. And you will feel this like excitement with me. And you're not going to know what it is, but you're going to be like, damn, Jane is hiding something, you know? And depending on where you are, you might be like, whatever, or you might take it personally, it might trigger you, and you might get really upset and insecure. Or if I'm holding a truth back because I have fear, like, that's holding it in, like if I fear that you're gonna get mad if I tell you that I just went to lunch with this person, so I'm just not gonna tell you I went to lunch. I'm just not gonna tell you. If you are remotely astute at picking up on energy, like some of us, you're gonna feel that shit. And what it'll feel like is it's gonna feel like a lie. It's gonna feel like a lie is being told to you, and you won't be able to ask enough questions to properly focus in on what the hell is being lied about. But you feel it. And then that just leads to so much inner turmoil that we gotta go into and work through and clear and heal and all. Okay, great. And then we do it again. Or we could just fucking be honest and to live in integrity and to speak in integrity. Like, I get it if we don't want to tell everybody everything, like, I get that. But to intentionally withhold truth out of fear on how someone may or may not react, it's just so ho-hum to me. And I've recently just had experiences where people don't speak the full truth and they hold it in. And I see where it comes from, and I have love and compassion for these people, and, you know, yay. Insert eye roll, because I don't need anyone to look at me like I can't handle the truth either. Like, I can fucking handle the truth. And if the truth that I'm told is something that, like, sets me off, well, then that's a place that I get to, like, learn and grow, right? Like, that's on me. So when we withhold the truth out of fear of how someone may feel or may react, wouldn't we be doing them a disservice, and we're quantumly holding them in a lack energy field? Like, they're not enough. They don't have enough skill or emotional capacity or bandwidth or whatever to handle my truth, even though my truth is in integrity, and it's not not meaning it in a mean way. I'm just being really authentic. We're holding them in that lack, and they don't need that. Like, we don't need to be looked at like we can't handle anything. We don't need to be looked at like we're sick and we're unwell and we're weak. Like, we don't need to, like, look at our brothers and sisters or anything on this planet like it is not fill in the blank enough. I don't need anyone to look at me like that. It literally does harm. It, like, you know, if you study yoga, it's not ahimsa. It literally does harm. Anyway, so my invitation is twofold. If you're interested in learning more about, like, how that stuff works, like, how does that actually do harm, like, please sign up for my Quantum Spirituality Fundamentals of Energy course, because I'm excited about that, to share all of this down to, like, the subatomic particles so that we can actually navigate and think and speak and be clear in this energetic experience that we're having. So that's invitation one. Invitation two is to talk to yourself and get real with yourself and ask yourself, can I handle this? Can I navigate it? Can I communicate it? Am I willing to risk? Am I willing to risk whatever it is in my life that I can speak through with love? Like, am I willing to let go of this relationship with whatever, if in that conversation I realize that it isn't serving me or that I'm not serving it? If I cannot figure out a healthy way to have a relationship with pizza, then I need to get rid of it. But if I ignore that I don't have a healthy relationship with it, then I'm going to keep hurting myself if I keep eating it. But if I'm real with myself, I'm like, hey, this isn't a healthy relationship with this pizza in this example, then I can talk to myself about like, hey, I'm aware that I don't have a healthy relationship with it. Do I need to eat it less often? Do I need to switch ingredients? Like what can I do so that it can feel good for all, my body, my mind, my spirit, whatever. But if I don't even talk to myself about this and bring it into my awareness about this relationship and my real feelings about it, like I feel guilty if I eat this pizza, well then if I don't acknowledge that, then I can't move through it. I can't shift it. There's truth in communication is really, it's really important, y'all. Dear God, that is so good. I've been waiting to drink this. It's stinging nettle and hibiscus tea that I made. So good. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share. An invitation and encouragement to speak your truth and to recognize that your truth, when you speak it, if it doesn't come from a place of I'm right, you're wrong, but just this is what's right for me and what's right for you may be different. But when we do that, like it really makes a difference. And I really encourage all of us to like speak, risk it. Risk it, you little biscuit. Sometimes you gotta butter them up before you tell it, but like start it with a compliment if you're gonna be like dropping some truth bombs. I love you and I really need to share that. I really think that guns are okay and I don't think that we should take them away. Or hey, to all my friends who use and have guns, me to say, hey, that's cool that you all do that. I don't think people should have that, and I still love you all. Like, could we still be friends if I think differently? And be able to be okay if they say, well, yeah, of course we can still be friends, and be just as okay if they say, no, we can't. Then we start to really collect in truth. Because if I'm sharing my truth to anyone or anyone's and it's not in alignment for them, that's okay. That means other people would be in alignment. And it also means that that person may not be in alignment now with my truth, but they may be later, or my truth may change. I may be like, yeah, go team guns. And then like in a year be like, no guns. And then I might flip-flop. And to be able to give everyone that grace and space as they may be changing their minds right now. Because that's a thing. So good luck. Good luck in finding the courage to say, hey, what isn't working for me is this, and I would like for this to work, and I don't know how. Or, hey, I don't know how this is going to work, and I'd like to try this. Or, hey, this isn't working, and I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Or, hey, this isn't working, and I want it to work so much, and I have no idea what the fuck to do. There's so many ways that we can be honest and truthful and kind and lighthearted about really real, heavy, dense topics. And I'm definitely one that like I'm a straight shooter when I speak my truth. To the point that people tell me or have reflected back that like it could be better. Like, yeah, okay. Like, I take that. And, I'm not going to be lying. I'm not going to hold anything back. And I can only, like, I have some people in my life that literally, they don't hold anything back. And they're just really authentic, and they speak what they feel, and they're really just real. And I tell you what, I can get on board with those people because I know who they are, and I know who I'm working with, and I know that they're always showing up fully. No matter how they're showing up, that is who they're showing up, and they're telling me about it. Like if I ask, hey, how are you? They might be like, I'm kind of pissed at you, or whatever. But because I know that they are fully speaking their truth, I feel safe around them. I can feel their truth. I can feel they're not holding and hiding. And that feels really good. And I would like for the whole world to be able to feel good like that with others. That when they walk into a room, they don't feel like, oh God, I can feel all the lies in this space. Anyway, I almost went down another rabbit hole of, that everything is a projection of us. And so if someone isn't telling you, me, right, the full truth, then it literally is just a version of me unable to tell the truth. Which that's where the grace comes in. Like, don't get mad at people, right? Like don't get mad at you if you can't tell the truth, and don't get mad at someone else if they can't tell the truth. My invitation though is to do your best and try to be as truthful as you can. I think it makes a difference. It's like a desire from my heart is just people start speaking the truth, and that it can be received with grace and shared with kindness. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share. So I hope that you're doing well and that the truth flows from your mouth hole with some joy and some ease and courage, so that we all may actually communicate together and live in harmony. Because I don't know about y'all, but like when people be fighting over shit, it's like, y'all know that you could literally just talk this out. You actually could talk this out. You actually don't have to kill humans to prove your rightness or to take control. But that takes a courage that not many people have. It's much easier to pull a gun or to hit or to retaliate or to retract and leave. That's the easy way out. That's the easy fucking way out. What takes courage is to stand up and to talk to someone. It takes courage to listen. It takes courage to speak our truth. I look to that day when that's the world that we get to live in, where the hearts of man and woman are what is communicated so that we can move together. So I'm going to hold that in my vision. I would like for you to hold that in yours too, or something like that. That'd be great. Thank you. So thanks for taking the time and checking this out. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. And remember how loved you are. Like, remember that you are love in this world. You deserve to be seen and heard. Okay. I love you. Bye. Peace.